Okay, namaskaram everybody. Om Shuklambaram Vishnum Jivadnam Chaturbhajam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Prajnanam Brahmayamatma Brahmadattvamasya Ham Brahmasmi Om Hamsa Shivassoham Hamsaha Hasaka Frame Adakshamalavari Yumasom Sakshamalavari Saho Swarupanirupana Hetave Swagurave Srimad Jnanam Vigasameta Sri Chaitanyanandanath Sri Guru Sri Padukam Pujayami Darpayami Namaha. Namaskaram again, and thank you everyone for participating in this program. That said, this month incidentally happens to be a kind of an anniversary for the same course that was conducted 3 years back by Sri Jiyaya. So it's essentially, if not essentially, at least to a significant extent, a repetition of the concepts that were discussed at that time. And with that said, Amma, please put on the first slide. We'll go slide by slide since I believe that at least significant number of you will have gone through this earlier course material. Introduction to Sri Vidya practice. I would want to mention one particular I won't call it an experience, something that happened when I went to Sri Vidya. So it is Devipuram, the first time. The placards there showed, make Sri Vidya a way of life. Sri Vidya earlier or even now within several schools across the world is considered to be a very esoteric and highly secretive Vidya. Very secretive, so much so, your neighbor may be a Sri Vidya Upasaka, but you will not know it. There are situations where the husband is the Sri Vidya Upasaka, the wife is not allowed to look at the Meru. That is how it was. But my Guru Parampara, I hail from a Parampara where my Guru he holds 2 masters and a PhD in architecture. And his guru was one of the top 3 nuclear physicists in India during his time. So I belong to a lineage of technical swamis. They said that over the several millennia, the mass of humanity has accumulated a huge amount of vijnanam, which compensates for the lack of at least a portion of the jnanam. So now it is time to take the next quantum jump into the ocean of Sri Vidya, putting aside some of the inhibitions that were created at one point of time, owing to, number 1, fear of unknown, 2, the Sri Vidya technology, quote and unquote, in itself is very well far away from those times. So because of that, probably they might have put in some very, very tough barriers. And in our lineage, those barriers were diluted significantly. Okay, with that said, the first slokam and the first slide, Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, my pranams to my Guru and our Guru lineage. May they sit in my heart and on the tip of my tongue and speak whatever is relevant to the course. Guru plays a very, 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 very important role in the practice of Sri Vidya. In fact, Guru plays a very important role in every walk of life, in every kind of upasana. It need not be Sri Vidya. Okay? And that's why if you go back to the previous slide, Amma, the Guru, the slokam, see, what they say is, Dhyanamulam Guror Murtihi. When you meditate upon what is the best idol you can worship on, is the form of your Guru. Dhyanamulam Guror Murti, Puja Mulam Guror Padam. Where do you offer puja? To the feet of Guru. Mantra Mulam Guror Vakyam. What is the mantra you have to meditate upon? You have to do your japam or you have to do your chintanam. the instruction from Guru, the Vakyam, the sentence that Guru tells to you is your Mula Mantram. So much so, let me relate. I mean, this is an example I talked about a few times in the past in several different occasions. You may want to Google one by name German Swami. Okay, people from Sri Lanka will know that name much better because German Swami, his actual name, I think, is Peter Schoenfeld. Peter Schoenfeld, he's from Germany, and he escapes the persecution of Nazis at that time, travels from all over the place, Timbuktu to Jimri Thalaya, as they say, and finally settles down in Sri Lanka. And in his journey, peregrination, so to say, he had several questions, unanswered questions. And in Sri Lanka, when he was searching for some books in a library, an old man comes to him, he accosts him, he taps on his back and says, "Hey, fool, what you want is not available in books." Probably in putting it in a broken Tamil that I know, probably it will give you a better, "Hey, Madaya, unak enna venumo adu puttakadil irukkiradilla, nee summa iru." This is the exact statement. This is the Vakyam from that old man. That Vakyam, that's why when Guru initiates, when the Guru passes that so-called initiation into the disciple, it is not just about the physical words, but he impregnates the disciple with that energy. So much so in the case of Swami, "Ni summa iru," that stuck to him. So much so, he went into silence and into deep meditation. At one point, he composed a treatise called Summa Irukka Suttiram, the formula for maintaining silence. It is not silence outside, but it's silence within. And that old man that tapped on him is the famous Shiva Yoga Swami. So, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam. The Guru's words, Guru's instruction, the sentence that Guru utters to you is your Mula Mantram. Moksha Moolam Gurur Kripa. The source, the essence of moksham, or the principal causative for moksham, will be his compassion. That is the significance of Guru in any asana. Guru, they say, Guru is the guide to every step of your way. But I would rather say, Guru is the every step of your way. He's not just a guide, he is every step. Okay? That is the significance of Guru, and the Guru's, the significance of Guru, it becomes all the more pronounced as you go into more and more intense upasana. And Sri Vidya is a path of intense upasana. So you can imagine what kind of significance Guru bears in our path. Let's go to the next slide, Amma. The very next one. Yeah. The path to realization is unique to a person. On a lighter side, you must have heard Jaggi Vasudev, Sadguru, saying, if there are 3 people, there will be 5 opinions. So there will be such varied thinking from that the thinking is so varied from person to person. The mindset, the consciousness is so varied from person to person. Each path will be unique. It's only the Guru that can see through the disciple that decides what is the appropriate path for a particular practitioner, upasaka, or the disciple. With that said, mantra japam, the nature of mantra, foundation to Sri Vidya practice. Okay. There is the so-called yama, niyama, and dharana, and a few other concepts which I wouldn't want to go into too much of detail. Basically, when you do the japam, the thumb rule is same place, same time, same duration, same direction. Practice this. When you practice this, first your external biological clock gets tuned to it, because of which your external noise or your insensitivity to external noise will increase. Okay? So once that increases, it helps you in gaining internal silence more and more and more. Okay? Preferably, when you do the japa, you will have to have Deha Shuddhi. Deha Shuddhi has got two meanings. Deha Shuddhi, another meaning for Deha Shuddhi is getting beaten up. So here Deha Shuddhi means Shuchi, Deha Shuchi. So the purity or not purity, cleanliness of the body, and Sthala Shuddhi and Asana Shuddhi. The cleanliness of the place where you are seated, cleanliness or tidiness of the place around you. These three things, if you maintain, it will help in your getting to that focus much more easily and sooner. That's you will take morning ablutions and then take a bath and sit. Preferably, if you can do it in the earlier part of the morning, not at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, if you can do it at 5 early in the morning, that helps you much, because that's the time the ambience is so silent. That will help a lot. Plus, in 3:30, I think it is between 3:30 and 4:30, is called Brahmi Muhurtam. That is the time when a lot of upasakas, in fact, prefer that time. And that's the time, if you do a japam or dhyanam, which is also called chintanam, it becomes extremely effective. And if you can't do it, don't take that as, since I can't do it, then let me not do it ever. No, you can't do that. Fix yet another time, which is most convenient to you, and then you do your practice. At one point, as you go further and further and further, the mantra, the energy that you gain will show you the way as to how you can get to the next path or next timetable, next timeline, and so on. Okay? Vaidama. And please feel free to interrupt at any point in time during this course. Now, quality over quantity. We'll get back to that. Quality over quantity, coupling with, these are all the techniques how you can perform mantra japam. If you hear me, this one of the verses from Ramana Gita, okay, I think it is called Viveka Chudam, I believe. In that one, Kaya Vangmana Karyamuttamam Pujanam Japa Chintanam Kramat. Kaya, Vak, Mana. Kaya, body. Vak, the speech. Karyam. Kaya, Vang, Mana. Mana is mind. So, the deeds by the body, deed by the word of mouth, deed by the mind. Out of these three, which is the best? That will be the question. In that statement, there is a question and an answer. Kaya, Vang, Mana, Karyam, Uttamam. And then, in that order, Pujanam, Japa, Chintanam, Kramat. Pujanam, good. But more intense than Pujanam, Japaha. That is Japam. And more intense than that one is Chintanam. Okay? So you will, puja means, you will have an external set of apparatus, quite elaborate. You will be moving your body. Okay? You will be focusing on various components around you to perform a chain of acts. Shodasha upacharam, pancha upacharam, chatushashti upacharam. That will be puja. Japam, where you are going to, for the most part, exploit your quote and unquote buccal apparatus or vocal apparatus, which involves teeth, tongue, jaws, and throat. Jihva, danta, talavyam. Jihva, tongue, danta, teeth, talavya is jaws. Using these, you will use certain systematic congregation of sounds in an iterative fashion, and you call that japa. Okay? And then chintanam. Chintanam is dhyanam, meditating upon. Where this jihva, danta, tala, vyas, none of this will move. Your body will not move. All that moves is your mind in a very gentle way. Okay? That is also called, if I am right, japa japam. You are not doing japam, but you are doing japam. That means the iteration of this mantra will be going on inside, but that is not being impacted by any other faculty in your body. Okay? So, which is the sequence? Or how exactly do we get there? One is coupling with breath. Coupling with breath is also called prana vichanam. That is one. That is observe the breath. As you observe the air going into your lungs, the lungs will fill up, and slowly the lungs will collapse, and then the air comes out through your entire respiratory system goes. So you just observe that pranam as it goes in and goes out. While you do that, you will couple that breath with your chanting. Okay? There is a way they've said for Gayatri. When you do Gayatri, pranayam, Daivi Gayatri, Chanda pranayame vinyoga. When you do that, when you are breathing in through your right nostril, you will chant Gayatri once. Then you will hold the breath, Gayatri twice. You release the breath, Gayatri once. And then you hold your lungs empty, Gayatri one time. This entire thing will. Some people do that. Okay? And there are certain other people, they are coupled with breath with singing. Singing is, if you want to sing smoothly, you know how to where to break the song, take the breath, and then sing. Okay? Syncing with your activity of breathing. It will help you in focusing more and more and more. So that's why, I don't know how many of you speak Telugu or understand Telugu. And Tyagaraja Endaro Mahanubhavulu, they say Hari Guna Manimaya Saramulu Gadamuna. That means the jewels that are the attributes of Rama, when they adorn the throat, basically the Vishuddhi, the Rama's qualities are just falling in like the lights of jewels. That means for that person, the Upasaka, Vishuddhi is active. Okay? Then when that happens, you will tend to lose your common sense in the first place. Because you don't know what exactly, because everything appears so meaningless to you. But Ramuluganam, Shobhil, Bhakta Telivito, Chelimito. So with that thing open, there are few of those upasakas who can retain their senses and behave in a with a very, very friendly and compassionate disposition towards the rest of the world. That is upasana. That happens when you are coupling your breath with your singing, and then sing in a mellifluous way where you can become one with it. So that is yet another way of doing the japa. Okay? And then ahatanadam, listening to it. As you go deeper and deeper into this chana kramam, at one point, start hearing a sound from inside of you. Some people tend to say it is tinnitus. No, it is not tinnitus. If it is tinnitus, you will hear a ringing sound in the ear, so much so you will become embroiled. There is a treatment available. Doctors do offer the treatment for it. This doesn't embroil you. It just stays with you as a part of your person. In fact, if you focus on the anahatam, you will feel all the more pleasant, all the more peaceful. It's not so with the tinnitus. And that anahatanat, you will start hearing the sound. That is going further deeper, but let us not discuss too much about that, because my own experience is quite limited at best. So I don't want to talk too much about it at this point. Yeah, next slide, Amma. Mantra Japam, yeah. And regarding the quality over quantity, there's a kind of it's a yes and no. The ambition for quantity over quality is not good. This is how I would look at it. The ambition for quantity over quantity is not a good thing, but an attempt to accomplish quantity, when you do, because that is how I attempted. Let me be honest. I wanted to do it better because I took different analogies and used that to achieve the quantity in a shorter period of time. But initially, yes, I faced a lot of problems. First of all, my breathing becomes upset. I will lose focus. Sometimes I get confused. Quite often, the first portion of the mantra comes next portion of the mantra comes first. You will lose the sense back and forth. So are there. So the best thing is start off in a gentle way, as they say, hasten slowly. Okay? And your guru will always be there to guide you every step of the way. And then there is this concept, Puraskarana. Okay? Puraskarana essentially involves Akshara Laksha Japam. Laksha means 100,000. Akshara Laksha means as many 100,000s as there are syllables in the mantra. During that olden time, say Bhojaraja's time and all, even after that also, there is this Akshara Laksha reward. They used like poetry. Some of the poets, they walk in and then extempore compose a poem and say, award him Akshara Laksha. He will give as many lakh rupees or as many lakh coins as there are syllables in that poem. In fact, I don't want to quote the name of the authors, in British authors, he's a British author, his novels are quite thick. I came to know after that he charged for every word he writes into the book. So these concepts are there. So Akshara Laksha Japam, and 10% of that Japam you will do Tarpana. And then 10% of that in Yantra Puja, and 10% of that Puja for Homam. That means if there are, say, Gayatri, 24 letters, 24 lakhs. After you do 24 lakhs, 10% of that is Tarpanam. That is 240,000 times you keep chanting and do the Tarpanam. And then 10% of that, this one, that is 24,000 iterations you will perform the Yantra Puja, Gayatri Yantra Puja. And then Homam. So 22,400 is the Homam. Okay, so 2,400 times Gayatri Mantra with Swahantam, you will perform the Homam. And then Annadanam, 10% of that. That means if it is 2,400, for 240 people, you feed. That is one way of doing Puraskarana. In Gayatri, there is yet another way. They say 24 lakhs of Japam. Then you will have to do Gayatri Vilomam. You will chant Gayatri the reverse way. When you do chant Gayatri the reverse way, you will obtain Brahmahatya Patakam. You have to clear that, so you'll have to chant another 24 lakhs in the normal way. Totally, you'll be chanting the Gayatri for 49 lakhs to complete the Puraskarana. That's a different method. So basically, Puraskarana, what it does is, it makes your body attuned to the sound and the chant of the mantra with your voice, with your vision. So when you do that, at one point you will be what do you call, vibrating in unison with the mantra itself. So that leads to realization. The Puraskarana, there are so many ways these things are. Say, for example, Ganapati Mula Mantra. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Gom Gam Ganapati Varavarda Sattvajanam Me Vashmani Swaha. They say you chant this for 44,000 Puraskarana is complete. Some people say that. Okay. There which Ganapati Mantra is there. You chant for 12,000 Puraskarana is complete. And then there are several methods, several concepts, several schools. Each school teaches the sampradaya, have a different sampradayam for that. That is That's about Puraskarana. But basically, talking about loose concepts of what each of these things are in the process of our Upasana. Sanskrit Aksharamala. Now, usually my trick question used to be, how many people know English? A lot of people say, yes, I know. What is the first alphabet? A. What is the next alphabet? B. Now the trick question is, why is it so? Why B comes after A? Why C comes after B? A, C, X, Y, and O, K. We won't say that. But the best answer we can get for that, at least to the extent I have known, is they say historically it has been so. Historically it has been so. But when it comes to the Sanskrit Aksharamala, we have to know the meaning of these words here. Sanskrit. What is Sanskrit? Sanskrit is the actual word in Sanskrit itself. The actual word is Samskritam. Samskritam means something that has undergone samskaram, refinement. Okay? When the knowledge is, earlier there were so many other languages, so many this one, they took that, polished it, honed it, deburred it, rounded it off, okay, all that kind of thing. And they brought forth a language that interacts with the innate behavior of the universe. Okay? That's why they say, and one of the tapasvis that I had, he says, for every padam, there is artham. For every artham, there is padam. When this padam and artham conjoin in a harmonious way, then forms the padartham. Okay? Padam is sound. Artham is the essence, which does not have any time or space. When this time and space function meets with something that does not have time or space, but still the essence, when these two things join together, you get the material manifestation. That capability is available is a part of the behavior of Sanskrit syntax. Okay? That's what in Sanskrit Aksharamala is, there are vowels, 16 of them, consonants, and then there are semi-vowels and so on. As you exploit buccal apparatus starting from the base of your throat, tip of your tongue, as the start points change, it makes several different sounds. These sounds are categorized into these vowels and consonants and so on. And these vowels are also associated with several energy points in our body, which we call otherwise petals. Okay? And those petals are distributed around chakras. So there are vortices of energy in the human body. Each vortex has a certain number of energy points, which we call petals, because the chakra we is also referred to as a flower, as a lotus. The lotus has got specific number of petals. That is how Aksharamala is formed. I think probably subsequently we will be discussing Aksharamala in further detail if need be. But the literature is available in the classroom course materials. We'll get back to the Aksharamala after a little while, after we go through the subsequent slides and towards the end. Let us go to the next thing, Amma. Yes.
We have a question.
Please.
Someone raised it. Okay. How to know what is the count to chant a particular mantra?
Count for what? You are talking about Puraskarana, or you are talking about what exactly do you mean by count? What is the objective behind your count?
1 second. I'll have the person ask the question. Sir, can you please unmute yourself and ask the question?
Yes, namaste. I was looking to understand the Puraskarana. If we have to do Gayatri Puraskarana, then how do we know what is the count for Gayatri Puraskarana? Is there a difference between how many times we have to say the mantra for Gayatri versus Ganapati versus Devi?
Okay, this is where the sampradayam comes into picture. Okay, not only sampradayam, the vision of your guru about you comes into picture. There are certain situations where, in fact, I have seen in our lineage, the guru looks at a particular disciple and he says, "Look, you have already finished your Puraskarana. I am only giving it to you, formality, and with that you are done." And there are some people keep on doing, not moving, and they have to do it. But typically, at least in Sri Vidya tradition, typically, Akshara Laksha is the way to start, not way to go, way to start. And there are certain other mantras, as I said, Lakshmi Ganapati Mantram and all that. For that, your guru will tell you how many times you have to chant, even before you think of Purash, because Ganapati Mantram is supposed to generate a lot of heat in the body. That heat generally translates to emotion, and a person tends to become very angry. Okay, so Ganapati Mantram is not to be taken very lightly. So initially, Ayya told me, chant 4 times, no more than that per day. Then after some time, now he said, now you go chant as many times as you want. Okay, so that particular question, Amma, only your guru will be able to answer in as precise a fashion as you deserve to know. It can be a different answer for somebody else. But in Sri Vidya, as I said, typically Akshara Laksha is the way to go for Puraskarana. Okay? Yeah. Which one? Which one? Yeah, no. So Akshara Laksha typically, unless you have got Guru's grace or mother's grace, you can't accomplish it over a day. It will take some time. That's where I keep recommending hasten slowly. Okay, that's where the quantity quality concept. Okay, you can attempt to do more, but don't be restive because you couldn't do it. And also be aware of how your body is reacting. That's very important. And always keep in touch with your guru. Okay. Now,
we have one more question.
Please.
What if you are speech impaired and cannot say it? Can you say it within your heart? How
of
do you?
Of course you can. So if you can say without moving your jikva danta talavya, that is without moving your teeth, tongue and cheeks or the jaws, without moving this, if you can do the japam, that is one of the highest orders of japam. There, that's the gateway to your next stage of upasana, which is called chintanam, where you will be observing the mantra, iterating within yourself, in your mind.
There's another part to this question.
Okay.
How do you proceed if women are in their menstrual cycle? Are there any conditions when the mantra should not be chanted?
In our lineage, in our tradition, we do not restrict a person from doing it internally. In fact, nobody can tell you not to think of something, whatever may be your state, physical or mental. If you can internalize it, do it. There's nothing wrong. When you are externalizing, that's when you will get a lot of other restrictions. That's where I said the shuchi of body, the cleanliness and tidiness of the human body, the cleanliness and tidiness of the place where you sit, the clean tidiness of your surroundings. All those things will play a role when you externalize the upasana. If you are internalizing it, it just keeps going on. In fact, there are people, my guru says, even if you are sitting in a restroom, keep doing it internally. If you are doing it internally, you do it internally. That's it. There's one more question here. Speak out, Amma. I recommend you, you can do it. There's nothing wrong. Question here is, suppose you wake up at 3 in the morning, do you have to necessarily take a shower and do it, or you can do it internally? In our lineage, we say, yeah, go ahead, do it internally. There are certain schools which say, no, go take a bath, do this thing. Systematic. Both are right. Both are correct. Yes, sir.
Just now when you said internally, when I started with Kalpamala, at times I used to feel I was sleeping at night, and I'm suddenly starting to recite it. I used to feel odd about it.
Okay.
But then
nothing odd. That's it. Just leave it. Yeah, if you feel that you are chanting, okay, allow it. Allow the feeling to keep going. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Regarding the puja, typically there are Panchopachara pujas and Shodasopachara pujas, and in the case of Sri Vidya, you have got Chatushashti Upachara pujas. Okay. The 5 upacharas, basically it means you you do the puja in 5 steps. And these 5 steps are again latched to 5 bijaksharas. And these 5 bijaksharas again are latched to 5 different lotuses in your body. Lam prithvi tattvatmane Mooladhara. Ham akashatatmane Yam vayudatvatmane Ram tejastatvatmane Vam amrutatatvatmane Sam sarvadatvatmane. 6 actually. 5 plus 1 they will say. Okay. So each of them, Lam Mooladhara, Ham Akasham, that is throat. Yam Vayu. Basically what you do is Mooladharam, you will start the puja. From there, you will kick yourself into Vishuddhi. From Vishuddhi, once again, you will gradually go down until Vam, that is Amrudi Karna, where you offer Naivedyam. Then from there, Sam, you will go to the Agna Chakram, that is Manolayam. Each of these upacharas are connected to one particular shedding, so to say. You shed something. Lam Prithvi Tattvatmane. The Lam, I don't remember what is associated to. Say this. Gandham, but Gandham is not Indriya Nigraha. Lam Gandham Samarpayami, Ham Pushpam Samarpayami, Akasham. So for each of these things, say for example, Dhupam I remember. Dhupam, that is Arishadga Visarjanam Dhupam Samarpayami. Ram Chitkala Deepam Darshayami. Vam Shivashakti Samarastyam Amrutanaivedyam Nivedayami. So by the time you come to Vam Amruti Karna, there you are visualizing the harmonization of Shiva and Shakti. Samarasa bhavam. So there is no separate. Shiva and Shakti are not separate, are one. Tam Manolayam. At least when you say Shiva and Shakti are saying, they are analyzing. You are using your mind. Some at Agna, even that is not there. As absolute shunyam. So this is the kind of states you have to go through as you offer this 5 upacharas in Panchopachara. Okay, that's why if you would say Panchopachara puja as a much more intense puja when compared to the Shodashopachara puja, because you have to all these kinds of experiences into your puja. Now in Shodashopachara puja, typically I will look at it as the way you treat yourself in the normal world. Then typically this is what I would treat God the way you treat yourself. God will treat you the way he treats himself, or he or she treats. himself or herself. Because say, what do we do? Shodasha Puja means we first invoke, or invoke. Then you are invoking, say, please sit down. Then you will say, okay, I've come from far, let me just go in to wash your feet, then wash your hands, then have some drink. Probably you'll give some shower, have some drink, okay, or probably coffee. It's so cold. Okay, drink. Then after that, after you drink, you won't feed him. So after you drink, then okay, now go take a shower. Now you take a shower and come back. Oh, it's hot water. Have something cool, cool down. Okay. Then after that, you will now here are some good clothes. Have some good clothes. So the tattoo, deity, divinity, right? Emperors of the universe, they are coming. So you will do new clothes, beautifully stitched, beautifully adorned, and all that, zari and all that clothes. Then after that, abharanams. Okay. Then after that, you will give some talcum or cosmetics. Okay. Gandham. So then after that, you just praise, you are this, you are that. You just do a good talk to get the guest to a cheerful mode and put a pleasant disposition. Then after that, what you do? A candlelight dinner. I mean, no, after that, you will do the perfume the whole ambience with the spray and all that. Then you will say candlelight dinner. So you'll the candlelights, deepam. Then a dinner, naivedyam. After dinner, have something to drink. Okay. Then after the drink is over, then you will say, okay, the fair goodbye. You will do the harati. Hey, please bless us. That's what you do to a typical guest that comes to your house, or if you go as a guest to somebody's house. Same thing we do. What is avahanam? Then asanam. After asanam, padayoha padyam. Next, hastayoha argyam. Achamanam. Drink. Achamanam. Snanam. If it is Chatushashti Upachara Puja, in Snanam, before Snanam, removal of clothes, removal of your ornaments, removal of this, make you sit over a particular seat. So each of these things will become. So basically what is happening is you are going into lower and lower and lower technical detail of conducting yourself in a particular ambience. That is Chatushashti Upachara. So you will do, so whatever you do in the normal mundane world, you made that into a mantra, into a set of mantras, okay, and then called it a chain of activities called 16 acts, 16 upachara, and thus becomes the Shodasha Upachara Puja. Typically, okay, these upachara pujas, there is one method called Shloka Puja Paddhati. Okay, sloka. Each upacharam, you will attach one shloka. Shreem Hiranyavardnam Haridim Suvarna Rasasrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedomam Avaha Hreem Tam Abha Jatavedo Lakshmim Anapagamini Yasyam Hiranyam Vindeyam Gamashvam Purushanagam. Another slokam, next upachara. So this is called one slokam attached to upachara. Another slokam attached to upachara. This is called Shloka Puja Paddhati. Typically, for Shodasha Upachara Pujas, they will Shloka Puja Paddhati for Shodasha Upachara. It is very typical, be it for Ganapati, be it for Vishnu, Lakshmi, Parvati, name anybody. They will use the Shloka Puja Paddhati. Kedar is Shloka Puja. Okay? For Upachara Puja, typically again, they will take the Mula Mantra, repeat the Mula Mantra for each upachara. And they can do the same thing for Shodasha Puja as well. But normal, the practice is for Shodasha Puja. More often than not, I see the Shloka Paddhati as a general, what is in vogue, so to say. Okay? It could be Ganapati, and then Ganapati, Guru, Devi, any, whichever be the deity, the variables will change. The equation remains the same. That's all it is. Okay? Apart from the slokas and upacharas, there is this so-called mudras. Mudra typically it denotes the shape, or it's a kind of manipulation of your palm and fingers to accomplish a particular shape. That shape actually creates a particular energy signature. This I have seen. This I have seen. The Kamadhenu Mudra, you will do it this way. Why do you do it this way? These four, it will represent, or it will look like the udder of a cow. Udder of a cow. That's how Kamadhenu Mudra. Okay? And then you have Murugi Mudra, Sri Vidya, this one. Murugi means deer. Female deer. Okay? Murugi Mudra. But then again, this has a thing, as I said, it creates a separate signature. The signature in this one is at the top, the four fingers join, that will denote Mooladharam. The bottom, it is 6 fingers joining, that denotes Swadhanam. And this one you are joining with your Sahasrara. This is the Mrugi Mudra for Sri Guru. Okay? And now, Grasa Mudras. Grasam means food. Mahagrasa, Mahashana. Mahagrasa, the one who is the personification of huge amount of food. Mahashana, the one that consumes that huge amount of food. That is Lalita Sahasranam. Mahagrasa, Mahashana, Aparna, Chandika, Chandamunda, Sudini. So Mahagrasa means, grasam means food. Something that can be consumed. Okay? So the grasa, you are supposed to, when you are consuming food, first you will have to offer the food for the 5 pranas within your body. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Each pranam denotes a particular function in the body, which I don't remember right away. I can send that literature after some time, or I can send you the after that. Yes. 1 second. Okay, so grasa mudras for each prana, say prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. The way I denote is last, thumb is common. Last 2, first 2, middle 2, join the top, join the bottom. That's all. Last 2, thumb is always common. It's easy to remember. 2, last 2, first 2, middle 2, join the top, join the bottom. Okay? They're all engineers, technical people, right? Technical lineage of technical Swamis. That's what they teach us. Right? Okay. So that is the grasamudra. So when you are offering naivedyam, when you are offering grasam, what is naivedyam? Naivedyam is the noun form of nivedana. Nivedana means offering. Offering to consume, nivedana. If you are offering clothes, that's also nivedana, but that's not naivedya. Okay, offering to consume as food is nivedana. Okay, this is, say, if you offer a thought to consume, my appeal is also for nivedana. So consume. So prana, when you are offering naivedyam, you have to do this mudra, called grasa mudra. That means food postures. Okay? Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Okay? So that's how it is. And then we have got this Dasha Mudras. Dasha Mudras will go a little deeper once we get a little deeper into Sri Vidya Upasana itself. Okay? Otherwise, it will be kind of mismatch. Okay? Yes. Next, Amma.
Yeah, we have a few questions.
Please.
So first, so is hearing or reciting the mantra in the subtle body, or which is internally, considered a higher practice than saying it aloud?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But you have to, there is difference between him making it internal and thinking that you are making it internal. Yeah, chanting silently is not exactly internalizing, because still you are telling the external that hey, shut up, I'm doing it, shut up, I'm doing internal. When you chant silently, that's what is happening. That too, if you are used to chanting loudly and you start chanting silently, at the Vishuddhi, you will feel a pressure. Particularly when you are chanting internally, some of the syllables, at least in my case, chanting syllables are hakaram. When you chant internally, you will feel a pressure here. Okay, that's a really very comfortable pressure. So until you go beyond that, will not let the body succumb to that pressure. Will not even let the body feel that pressure. When you go to that kind of silent chanting, now you are getting there. Otherwise, yeah, you have to practice. Still, you are in 80% external, 20% internal. That 20% keep increasing and 80% keeps decreasing. At one point, it is 100%. Okay? Yeah. Next question.
Yeah. So is Punascharana equivalent to having mantra siddhi?
Need not. If you have read the book Kings and Cabbages by John Ruskin, okay, we had a portion of that in our first year, that is here we call it 11th grade. Okay, they say one might have read all the books in British Museum, assuming you have got enough lifetime, but you can still remain utterly illiterate. Okay, that's where that Ramana Giti says, Katturagneya prapkite palam karma kim param karma tajjadam kritimaho dadau patana karanam phalama shashvatam nirodhakam. If you think chanting it, Puraskarana, chanted, done, I'm done, I'm graduated, then I can switch on a tape recorder, will the tape recorder get the mantra siddhi? No. Your life energy should start syncing with the vibration of the mantra. That is the objective of Puraskarana. If the Puraskarana can help you accomplish that, then you will get the mantra. Then what's the point in doing the Puraskarana? Well, the reward is in the journey, not in the arrival. As they say, initially I was joking to Ayya, how long is the syllabus, Ayya? What is this? He said, Ayya, this is a lifelong syllabus. Okay? Even mantra siddhi is not something, okay, you got into the bus in this station, next station you have arrived, you got down, you have got mantra siddhi. No. Mantra siddhi is an experience you are going to live in. Okay? You are going to live in it. Until that happens, whether you have finished Puraskarana or not, you should keep doing it. But what Puraskarana does to you is, it will make your body much, much more disciplined to continue the upasana in a very austere fashion. And more often than not, the energy may be accumulating in you, you will not even realize it. But you miss the boat if you keep looking for, okay, am I realized or not? Am I realized or not? No, that doesn't work. Because the moment you do that, that means you are bringing in your own ego as a barrier to going from, that prevents you from going beyond. One of the most imperative thumb rules in this upasana is, do not look forward to destination. Do not ever look forward to destination. That will be your biggest obstacle. Okay? Next question, Amma.
So is Purna Diksha associated with completing the Punascharana?
Purna Diksha is, this morning I was just going through some articles myself. There are several traditions, sampradayams. There are certain places where you will do the Puraskarana, then it's something like a, okay, you do this, I'll give you the reward. this the reward. Purna Diksha is your reward. You did so many times, I'll give you Purna Diksha. There are some places they say you finish Puraskarana, you will get the Purna Diksha. There are some places where the Guru just looks at you and he gives you Purna Diksha. There are yet certain other times where Guru say, okay, keep doing, at some point I'll give you Purna Diksha, and he'll give it. And there are yet other situations where when they give Mahapaduka, Atma Paduka, when they give you the Guru Paduka, along with that they'll give you Purna Diksha. And Guruji has written a book, published a book, Ma. In Telugu it means mother. Okay? Ma, he describes there is one particular section called Diksha Prakaranam. But it is basically a technical process of giving the Diksha rather than spelling the milestone when a Purna Diksha is given. Again, Purna Diksha, getting Purna Diksha by no means can be taken as any physical milestone at all, because I have seen Purna Diksha people, some of them who are exalted. Some of them, they are just so down to, they are neither this nor that. There are some people who are extremely jealous, who are extremely angry, who are extremely passionate. So all kinds of, so Purna Dikshatars will come in all packs, sizes and flavors. So that is, the Purna Diksha doesn't mean much. Doesn't mean much. Okay? Next question. Anything else? So if there are no questions, the next topic is chanting sacred stotrams and suktams.
Yeah, there is one question. Sorry, I was talking on mute before.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
So Aksharamala has 51 syllables. Why are we particularly using lam, hum, yam, ram, vam for Panchopacharas offering? What is the significance of these 5 syllables related to Panchabhutas?
Yeah, the thing is, the remaining syllables, while they form the petals of the lotus, these 5 syllables, they form the center of the lotus. And in fact, they represent the entire lotus. Lam is Mooladharam, whereas the petals around that Mooladharam is Va, Sha, Sha, Sa. But the Chakram or the lotus itself is represented by Lam. In the same way, Hum, Akasha Sattvam, it represents the Vishuddhi, Vishuddha Chakram. The petals around that are 16. A, I, U, U, R, R, L, L, A, I, O, O. There are 16 petals, but the Chakram itself is represented by the syllable Ha. Same way, Ya, heart chakra. Then Ra is Manipura Chakram, that is the navel. And then Vam, that is the genitals. So these, the individual chakras there, the entire chakra is represented by that syllable. So we use that syllable to denote that chakram rather than any single petal. Okay? Yes. Now, chanting sacred stotrams and suktams. Lalita Sahasranama Stotram is a complete path to mother by itself. And Khadgamala Stotram is yes. And Vedic suktams like Durga Suktam are very potent for burning karma. Any questions about it?
You require Diksha for Khadgamala or
Khadgamala typically, it is recommended that you are into Sri Vidya before Khadgamala is chanted. That much I can say. Anything where some people, they say, unless you have Panchadashi, you cannot chant Khadgamala. There are some in our school, our age, if you have Bala, you can chant Khadgamala. In fact, there are certain schools that are very puritanical. They say you cannot chant Lalita Sahasranam without Panchadashi. Okay? And Lalita Sahasranamam, I'll take just another couple of minutes on Lalita Sahasranamam. Lalita Sahasranamam is, as they say, one has to know the Navavyakaranas to completely comprehend the scope of Lalita Sahasranamam. This Lalita Sahasranamam, it can give you all kinds of, each person can get a different meaning from namam of mother. Okay, let me give you an experience of myself. Okay, see what happened there at one point when I had a dream. In the dream, I had gone to a big grove, tall trees. In the middle, there is a podium built out of some wooden poles, and there is a flat surface on top. On top, there was a lady sitting, white clothes, normal hair, but one gray patch. Okay. And then I also was standing down looking at the whole this one. And I said something, oh, she's there, she's come and all that. Suddenly I woke up chanting Pancha Pretasana Sina, Pancha Brahmasuru, Pancha Preta Manchadisha. These are two names. Pancha Pretasana Sina, Pancha Brahmasuru, Pancha Manchadisha. I just woke up saying that. Then I came to Ayya and asked her, what exactly is? Then he said, meditate upon Padmaraga Samaprabha, you will understand the meaning of what you saw. That's for me. Totally true, non-related. He said, you focus on Padmaraga Samaprabha, then you will understand what Panchapreta is. Okay? And right within 2 days of this dream, I got an email from, I think, the Kamakochi Mandali, or at that time, I was subscribing to their email address to this thing. They said, Shashwati, Shashwata Ishwarya, Sharmada, Shambhu Mohini. There, Shashwati, Shashwata Ishwarya. Shashwati, the one who is permanent. Shashwata Ishwarya, one who is the personification of everlasting prosperity. Shashwata Ishwarya. Okay? But they also said it can be split in a different way. That is Shashwati, Ishashwata Aishwarya. Shashwati, Ishashwata Aishwarya. Ishashwata Aishwarya means Isha Ashwata Aishwarya. Isha, Shiva, Ashwata, as a horse, Aishwarya. So the one who has the prosperity of having Shiva as her, she rides on Shiva. That means she is the Panchapretasana. He is sitting on Shiva. So, Isha Shashwata Ishwarya contains the interpretation of Panchapretasana. So, when I get the dream, I get this answer. And Ayya gives another direction too. That is the significance of Lalita Sahasranam. Each person will get one's own meaning, one's own flavor, one's own amritam out of that stotram. Okay? And yeah, Khadgamala, there's nothing. Vedic Sutra, yes, these suktams, they really scrub you away. Scrub all the dirt away from your body. Keep chanting that. You will feel, and in fact, you will start feeling more and more and more and more blissful, so to say, for a better word in my vocabulary. Okay? Next one, Annadana and Seva.
Yeah, we have few questions. Yeah. Is it important to do Aksharamala Japam with these petals every day?
Which these kind of what?
Aksharamala Japam with these petals every day. Padma, you can unmute yourself and ask this question yourself.
Sri Matre Namaha. I'm just wondering whether we need to do that Aksharamala Japa using the chakras and the visualizing the letters on each petal of each chakra.
It is a yes and no kind of answer. Okay? It depends on where exactly you are in your path. Not that somebody who has done something is a highly elevated and you are a lesser species, or somebody else is a greater species. That's not what I mean. What I mean is how much your body is attuned to a particular upasana. Okay? Let me give you an example. not an example, but a narrative. Now, suppose I ask you, hope you can see these 4 pens. Okay, these tips of these 4 pens, I want you to arrange it in the form of a square. Okay, what will you do? You will take this, you will put it, and you will miss the grip. You will take it, you will just think, here is a square. You made it, right? Okay. Otherwise, if a person who would like to use just common sense and not spiritualism, all he says is, okay. What is the difference between this approach and that approach? This approach, it clearly says that square is a natural shape when they are together. You don't need to put it in their shape. This is a natural shape. Okay? All you have got to do is follow the shape that they are already in. Instead of saying, lam, vam, where is vam, there in the back, vam, sham, where is. If that's how you want to do your akshamala japam, you are lost in semantics. You are lost in the physical meaning without realizing the spiritual essence behind it. What happens is, what is supposed to happen is, when you do the akshamala japam, in that particular part of space, in the locus called human body, that particular point in space should vibrate in unison with that particular mantra. So when you want to do that, if you want to bring in the logic of searching where each petal is, you are missing the boat. What I would suggest is, first, chant your mantra. As far as possible, try to internalize it. Yes, for practice sake, yeah, once in a while you can use your akshamala, japam and things like that. And separately practice your akshamala. Because akshamala, halbhyo bijam, swarebhya shakti, bindubhya kilakam, matruka saraswati devata. Each aksharam is a mantra in itself. So practice the syllables properly. So much so, without your moving your that buccal apparatus, that's a term I'd like to always use. Without moving them, you should be able to internally chant only the akshamala. Then get used to associating the akshamala to various parts of your body. Then conjoin that one with any mantra you want, it works. It will become more effective. Otherwise, it is something like, they say, somebody said, if you have hair in the ear, you are very fortunate. So somebody does penance to Shiva. Shiva, what do you want? I want hair in the hair in my ears. So what happens is, you are searching for the physical meaning instead of relating actual spiritual essence. That's all. So that's what would happen. So that's why, if you want to do your akshamala japa more than need, I would say should or ought to, but even that with a qualifier that you should get used to these sounds and their positions in the body first before you can do this, so that it becomes more effective. Otherwise, you'll be spending way too much of energy. At one point, you'll find an excuse to give it up. At least this is my experience. Exactly. Yeah, learn Khadgamala first. Yes, that's right. Anything else?
Yes, sir. Yeah. How do one get into Sri Vidya?
Approach your Guru. Approach your Guru. Okay. Let the Guru decide. Let the Guru decide. That's it. Simple answer. Okay, Sri Vidya, thing is, Yeah. It is 95% living, 5% meditating or chanting. 95% is your way of life. Okay? So I will chant all the Sri Vidya mantras right from Bala to Mahashodashi, then just go outside, I'll be selfish, I'll do this, I'll backbite somebody. No. Okay? Cultivate a good way of life. Parallelly approach a guru. The guru will decide for you how to start, where to start, when to start. Okay? That's the simplest answer I can think of. In fact, that's how I got it. I never knew what Sri Vidya is. I just came. I said, I'll give you Sri Vidya. I said, I don't want it. I told him, I don't want it. Let me think about it. Then after that, something happened. I just came, okay, sir, yeah, I'll take Sri Vidya. That's how it happened. Yeah, next question.
Are these sacred stotrams to be chanted only after initiation by Guru?
Which ones?
Yeah, Rajeshaya, can you please unmute yourself and ask?
Thank you very much for the question. Yeah, this is Rajesh. You in the slide you mentioned about Lalita Sahasranamam, Kadgamala, and Durga Shuktam. So I'm asking about these 3 stotrams. I heard you were mentioning about mantra to be initiated through Guru, and I also got few of these stotrams via like YouTube in my kind of songs or anything. So this is where I'm a bit confused. Like, what is the best way of going through these stotrams?
See, there are some stotrams which, say, for example, your Khadgamala. It is recommended that you are initiated into Sri Vidya before you pursue that.
Got it.
Khadgamala. Lalita Sahasranamam, as I mentioned here, there are different schools of thought. In our lineage, we say anybody can chant Lalita Sahasranamam. In fact, we say chant Lalita Sahasranamam. That will give you a gateway to getting into more formal Sri Vidya. And there is another line of thought in our own Sampradayam that if you are chanting Sri Vidya, you are already, in a way, in Sri Vidya path. But then there are other schools, they say, no, you can't chant Lalita Sahasranamam without initiating into Sri Vidya. So probably one reservation I can see there is Lalita Sahasranamam got nyasam that uses Sri Vidya mantras. Without Sri Vidya mantras, you can't chant that particular nyasam. So they say, okay, then we'll say we have an exception. Don't chant nyasam, just chant Lalita Sahasranamam. So there are various ways of looking at it. But say Makaranda Stavara Rajam, Makaranda, I think Makaranda Stavarajam, that is based on Mahashodashi. So that one is recommended that you are initiating to Mahashodashi. So Sri Suktam, Purusha Suktam, Narayana Suktam, Rudram, these things typically no initiation is expected. But Patham, they say. So mantra Patham should happen through somebody who knows. The reason they say that is these suktams, they have got those modulations, the swaras. Okay, Udatta, Anudatta, Swaritas. Okay, you should know how to chant them or how to place those 3 modulations correctly. For that, you will have to have they say Patham. Have you done the Patham of this with a guru? It's not initiation. It is basically the guru and chant with someone who knows how to chant and get to. Otherwise, you will become habituated to chanting it incorrectly, and that incorrectness can bite you in the back without knowing what hit you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. If you experience something in your dream, should you approach Ayya to get guidance?
But again, yes and no. See, I tell you, we used to live in an apartment earlier when we came to Rochester initially. And then we had a Ganapati Murti. Ayya asked us to be Ganapati Murti. We put. And every day, the next day we come, the akshatas would vanish. Then we were very excited. So we went to Ayya. Ayya, the akshatas are vanishing. What happened? He said, go. There should be some rats in your house. So I did once again, yes and no. There is no definite answer for that. Yeah, if you get a chance, but remember one thing, always don't look forward to it. Okay, if you happen to meet your guru, Ayya or whoever, if you have a chance to ask him, say Ayya is seriously thinking about something else, you go and say, look, what do I do with the rats in my apartment? No, right? So if you happen to get a chance, you ask. Otherwise, you don't. See, what happens is, if it is indeed the divine vibration that causes the dream, the divinity will continue further and lead you to wherever you are. So it will lead you to your guru. You don't have to worry about it. But if I've seen it, I have a penchant to ask, no, not worth it. Don't have to do it. Okay? Yeah, next.
Which namam of Amma in Lalita Sahasranamam can we chant all the time?
Shri Matre Namaha. See, these Lalita Sahasranamam, each person will resonate or will chime better with a particular name. For Ayya, Avyaja Karunamurti, when he heard that, he got goosebumps and he fell for Lalita Sahasranamam. Avyaja Karunamurti, personification of unconditional compassion. Okay? And somebody, Barbara, Laka, to some extent I fell for it. Okay? And there is Pancha Pretasana Sina, there's a little wild one, but I fell for it. Shri Matre Namaha, is the first one. Shri Mata, Shri Mata is Shri Matre Namaha. All the time you're thinking of mother. Thing is, the Sahasranam, anyone, any Sahasranams, we cannot be in a position to say, okay, this Nam is better than that Nam. We are nowhere there to say that. Whatever you can chime with. There are some person, Kamesha Baddhamangalya Sutra Shobhita Kandha. She liked it. She chants that. Okay? But Sri Matre Namaha, yeah, it's a mellifluous, simple term, easy to remember. Okay?
Is there any good, but to do different suktams, is there particular days that I can do the Sri Suktam on Friday?
I don't know, honestly.
Or anything.
These things, I don't know. I know. It's not a very competent answer, but my answer would be what you like. Hold on to it and keep going. See, you shave on Thursdays, you don't want to do it. But you don't shave on Tuesday, you want to do it. Some people take that, I don't shave on Thursday, I don't want to. Oh, fine. Somebody shaves on Tuesday, Thursday, they won't. Okay, Thursday, check. That's how I look at it. The thing is, if you are doing a Kamya Prayogam, I want to have something, to get something, I want to do it. Then you will have to put in a lot more precautions about it. But if you are chanting for just the grace, and grace for the whole world, not just for yourself, any day is fine. There is no restriction to think good about the universe around you, right?
Yes, since I am allowed to talk, I'm just asking you a question about the experience in the dream. I had some experience which when I first started, and chanting, I was not into memorization at all. I'm basically a mathematician, so we never memorize anything, right? We deduce. But it came to me so easily that I am really surprised that memorization of 1,000 names, even as a high school and college graduate, I couldn't even repeat one verse of Shakespeare's play,
Mhm.
with reference to context, write an answer. I could never do that.
Mhm.
But this came to me naturally, and all 1,000 names without reference I have learned to chant. My question is, should I chant all 1,000 names without a break?
Yeah, without a break. How long does it take? 15 minutes?
20 minutes, correct. It is 20
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah,
and I
do it.
was
No
a
break,
full-time
no break.
working
Chant all the
person.
1,000 names.
So I used to do the puja and get into the car, and I used to drive 18 miles each day, each way. So I used to just chant. And even today, if I have to get something to be done, I just leave my puja room, but keep chanting. If I don't have the time to sit for 20 minutes all straight through to the puja, after doing all the initial puja and all that, that will take like 1 hour or something. And I don't have that luxury of time here, right, when I'm working. And so now I'm retired, so I can do that. But, like with my health, I can't sit long.
Okay.
So I do my chanting, just, walking around the house or going and sitting at the table and then walk upstairs and so on. So is that okay to do? I thought you said
perfectly fine.
anytime you can do it anywhere. If you do the japa.
See, in Saundarya Lahari, it says, Japo jalpaschilpam sakalamapi mudra virachana. Okay. So the way I wave my hands as I walk, that is my mudra. Sakalamapi mudra virachana. Gatihi pradakshinyam. As I walk, my walk is the pradakshinam. Gatihi pradakshinyam. Ashanat ahuti vidhi. My consumption of food is the homam. When that is the case, what is wrong in chanting while you walk? There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I know, I understand. Yeah, I know. But, this thing is, suppose, I have to take a call and somebody calls, I just break it. Then that evening, I go and do it at a stretch.
Sure, no problem. Nothing wrong.
Oh, okay, good.
Nothing wrong.
Is only Lalita Sahasranama the thing to do? Because I started, see, all of these I didn't learn in my young age. Basic chantings were taught for us. And I thought it was a bliss. If I didn't have the Ashtotra books, I can take a excuse because I was working, raising a child and everything. But now I wanted to become bookless. Once I memorized Lalita Sahasranam, I started memorizing the Ashtotras for Ganapati, Lakshmi, and Shiva Ashtotra and all of that. So I'm bookless now in a way. But I wanted to start the Vishnu Sahasranamam, and then I am up to some point now, like 470 without reference. But then I had some health issues 6 months ago, and so I couldn't resume. So I've started resuming it now. I want to have that goal to reach the 1,000 without book on Vishnu Sahasranamam. I just notice a pattern to know how one namam builds on the other one, on the previous one. And I kind of have a visual, this thing to connect things, which I've started to learn and how to memorize things. So is it okay to start learning now, like different chantings like this?
Every day you are alive, you are allowed to learn something new.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's my
Nothing
philosophy.
wrong in learning something new. Now,
Yes.
whether you want to do a upasana of a particular mantra, that is a different question altogether. In that case, when it comes to upasana, I recommend that you hold on to one. You can memorize all the stotram that you come across. There's nothing wrong. But when it comes to upasana, stick to one thing. That will help you better.
Okay.
You memorize that Vishnu Sahasranam, that's fine. If you suppose you know 10 or 20 Sahasranams, you can chant all of them daily, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you just stick to one thing for your daily upasana kramam.
Yes.
You learn anything else you want, you learn it as a hobby. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah. I mean, Lalita Sahasranama is one of the core few things that I have to chant, and I do that. Okay. The other things are on special puja days.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes. So be it. Nothing wrong.
Okay. Good. Good. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else?
Let's proceed with the slides, Aya.
Okay. Learn to draw Annadana Seva, feeding people. As I said, the Sri Vidya is 95% way of life. 5% is your chanting, meditating, and all that. So, service, feeding people, helping people, yes, that is a very, very important part of your upasana. I wouldn't even just stop at Puraskarana. Any upasana that you are doing in Sri Vidya, in fact, as a matter of fact, any upasana that you do, service and feeding people is very important. Without that, your upasana is incomplete. Okay? And serve the needy. You serve your next door neighbor who is so obese with so much of food, and you keep on feeding that person more pizzas or food service, that doesn't help. Feed the needy. Okay? Help those helpless. Okay? Alleviate people in grief. That is service. Okay? And doing Seva, yeah, that's right. Yes, next one. Yeah, that's doing Seva at the temple, that's fine. Yeah. Sri Yantra. Learn to draw the yantra, become familiar with the geometry. In fact, learn drawing Sri Yantra in itself is a Sri Chakra Upasana. Learn to draw it. In fact, there used to be that late Mr. Collin. He used to just draw the Sri Yantra extempore. He'll just come to the temple, huge Sri Yantra he will draw, and then perform Sri Chakra Puja. He did it here a couple of times. Learn it. Cultivating bhakti. Blessed are those whom bhakti comes naturally. Bhakta sulabhuta tadaiti nemi bhakti sulabhaim kadu kadar. But then that's a Telugu saying. What is it? Prasada buddhi, relate to Devi as mother, sense of surrender. Bhajans, devotions, yeah. Cultivating bhakti, basically, it is swaswarupa anusandhanam bhakti iti apiyate. Swaswarupa anusandhanam. Swaswarupa anusandhanam, it is interpreted in different ways. The way I look at it is, you identify yourself as one with the cause you adore. Whatever may be the cause. When you adore, when you become one with that cause, that is how you are going to get there towards salvation. Okay, you want to, there are people, they just do Annadanam, that's it. That is their cause, and they adore that. Nothing else matters to them. Okay, say for example, for Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba's, one of his birthday celebrations in Puttaparthi, one big group from Bihar, I think it's from Bihar, they went. Their job is to clean the toilets. That's it. Nothing else mattered to just clean life, maintain it spick and span. Hey, Sai Baba, hey, Bhagavan is giving darshan. We don't care, we don't want his darshan. This is our job, we are going to do it left, right, and center, day in and day out. They did that. Towards the end of the celebration, they were leaving. They were leaving. He says, hey, ask them to wait. He rushed out of his place, and right in the street, he gave pardon. Come on, do a namaskar. Okay? So that is bhakti. So you when you identify yourself as one with that particular cause, the one something that you adore, it leads you. And how you want to associate yourself? You want to just do your meditation or do your singing or do your service, whichever way that latches you on to that particular cause, you do it. Okay? Sample daily ritual. Immediately after bath, japam, minimum prescribed amount, japam. And then puja. Keep your rituals to the simplest possible form. Because in the mundane life of today's world, you will have more excuses to give up than to pursue. So the simpler you keep it, you can be surer to pursue that. Okay? Whichever is applicable, you can do, and whichever you can, just don't even try to pursue that. Yes. This one, it is self-explanatory statements. If you have any questions, I can answer.
Yeah, everything can be just reasons.
As I said, keep it simple. If you can offer quick cooked food, you offer it. You can't offer raisins. Make sure you consume it. Yes. Consume it after offering. Take it, eat half, and then. Okay, yes. Then, more examples. Doing Abhishekam, Alankaram to family, Vilakku. Okay, Kolam, Puja, Naivedyam, Lalita Sahasranam, suktams, minimum japan of mantra given, plus chanting Lalita Sahasranam, chanting them. Yeah, these are all good, nice to have kind of things, some of them. Whatever can fit into your schedule and into your mindset, you can pursue it.
May I ask another question here? Yeah.
Please.
Lot of these Indian stores, I like the Lakshmi brand on several products. Now, we worship the goddess, and then those kind of products, they come in with, with the Lakshmi's picture and so on. So it makes me so, it's hurting for me for years to throw it in the trash can. So what I do is cut the Lakshmi picture and throw the remaining part of it. And I have a lot of those small bits, even a tiny picture of this thing on a tamarind package, it is put in this. How do I take care of these pictures that I have collected over years, which is in my basement? See, you worship. And those pictures you have looked at every morning and you have prayed. How can you trash them like that? I always tell people, is there a Jesus brand product in this country? No, because cross is not there. Nobody is trashing it. So how should I handle those kind of publicities? What should we do to the Indian community to tell them, don't put Ganesh BD used to be there, Lakshmi this thing is there, several calendars used to be there, right? How do we, I'm not saying using the word dispose because that's not the appropriate word, because that's the holy picture that we always worship.
There could be multiple answers to this question, depending on how one wants to interpret it. Okay. My approach. Or let me give you a very small story. Have you heard of Ganapati Sachidananda Swami?
Who?
Ganapati Sachidananda Swami.
No,
Okay.
actually.
Once again, another exalted, I would call him a saint. Okay. He has an ashram in Mysore.
Okay.
When he was young, okay, let me go one step here. You must know, what language do you speak, Amma?
No, I'm born Kannadiga, but
Karnataka.
No, I learned Tamil also.
No, I don't know Tamil. That's why I'm looking for an avenue here.
Yeah, go ahead, Haley.
What do you call that? Arka Pushpam, Kannadalli.
Arka Yakdele.
That Meke Tinta Alva.
What is that?
That's a favorite tree for Ganapati.
Yakka. Yakkadele.
Yeah, that the flowers are very favorite. The flowers are favorite for Ganapati. Okay?
Yes, I know Yakka.
Yakka. Okay. Now, in that one, there are two varieties. A dark one that comes something with a dark pink hue or purple hue, and then a white hue.
Yes.
The white flower, the tree that the version that gives out white flowers. If you do upasana for the tree for 2 years, the root will take the shape of Ganapati. It is called Arka Ganapati. Okay. Okay. And once you get that Arka Ganapati, that becomes very powerful. And he accomplished that. Ganapati Sachidananda Swami accomplished that. The reason I am saying this is, he grows this Arka Ganapati one, that tree, that plant he grew in his backyard. Okay. At one point, his sister, she takes the garbage from inside the house and she throws it on the tree.
Oh my God.
Then this guy goes, catches hold of her and dashes her left, right, and center. Then his aunt, because his mother passes away at a very young age, his aunt, she asks him, why do you do, poor girl, why are you hitting her like that? And he tells her, I can see Ganapati, he was very angry with what she did to him. I'm trying to save her from the wrath of Ganapati. Okay? That is the kind of intensity of upasana he performed on that tree. After the few years of this, that one day she goes outside, the tree is not there. Then he asks him, what happened to the tree? Yeah, its purpose is over, I have trashed it. He removed the root, the remaining tree, just put it into the dustbin. Remember one thing, the picture of a pipe is not a pipe. You are getting attached to the picture as if it is the deity.
Okay.
The purpose of the picture is served the moment you have transcended beyond that. Any attachment beyond that, you are becoming materially attached. Now, that picture, if somebody else would want to use it, give it. If nobody wants to use it, if you keep it in where mice and worms will eat their way through in the next 100 years, there's no point.
Yeah.
Read it, dispose it off.
I know we do disperse
That's
it
it.
in reverse.
It is not reversed, use a paper shredder, take a scissors, cut it to pieces and throw it away.
That is difficult for me.
So, that's why picture is not God. Picture will lead you to God, so much so, yeah, acceptable. But anything beyond that, that's why don't picture collector and collect gods like that, right? Have one and stick to it. That's it. As Sir Rajagopalachari said once, if you just keep on picking up every piece of paper you find across the street, your pockets will burst. It will not add any value. Okay? Anything physical. Yad drishyati tan nashyati. This is a standard Sanskrit proverb. Anything that is physically visible and felt will have to face or will have to perish at one time or other. Yad drishyati tan nashyati. Or yad drishyam tan nasyam. So don't worry about an unused picture perishing. Or you want to put it in a river, then again all these, I don't know what kind of colors they'll have used on the, that will contaminate the water.
Yeah.
That's why they say for Ganapati, there's a serious joke going on in India. Why don't we make Ganapati out of chocolate during Nimajanam, put it into milk and drink it afterwards? It's there, but that's one viewpoint. But that's how I look at it. But then if you have a Pancham statue or that's a different thing, because it will accumulate energy and you have to keep doing upasana. But then again, you will not have 10,000 idols in your home. Only one or two.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. But the picture made of paper and printing ink, it will have only so much value. Unless you have got just only one to which you are doing upasana for the last years, you continue doing that. Nothing wrong. You are just collecting everything, just let them go the way they came, that's it. End of story. Explore next. What is that? Homam, Tarpanam, Ganapati. Ganapati Tarpanam is a very interesting concept. Please do it. How much time do we have? No, okay, but probably rest of them may not have that kind of time, because the reason is I want to relate to one particular experience I had in Devipuram. When I went to Devipuram, I think the first time itself, or the second time. When I went there, just outside of Devipuram, that main temple, there is a Ganapati temple there. Ganapati Sannidhi is there. Okay, so I went there in the morning 6 o'clock. Still nothing else is open. We were just goofing around, me and my wife, Gauri. And then about half a dozen kids, all of them boys in the sense they are in their early 20s, I guess. And they came to this Ganapati temple. They sat there, and Guruji is a very, very simple, practical person. So upon his instruction, they say all paper cups for Ganapati Tarpanam. They all put the paper cups, water. Then they, Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glam Gam Ganapati Janam Mevashman Swaha Tarpayami. Shrim Swaha, Om Swaha Tarpayami. They started. We were just outside the temple. Moment, and as I said, they are all male kids. The moment they start, they are very, very constant and very clear ladies' voice chanting with them. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glam Gam Ganapataye Varavada Svajanam Mevashmi Swaha Tarpayami. Then I asked Gauri, do you hear a woman's voice? She said, yes, I'm hearing a woman's voice. Ganapati Tarpanam is effective. Do it. It's not that the others are not effective. I realize the effect of Ganapati Tarpanam. Do it. Okay? Japam, Nyasam, visualization, Chakra Japam. Yes, these are all, these are all the next kind of. Okay? Any questions?
Any count that you have when you do the
Yeah, due to time constraints, we can do the question and answers after the end of the session. So please proceed with the slides.
Okay. Okay. Yantra Puja, Triveni Kalvam. Thing is, now, these things are more for people who are initiated. Say Yantra Puja. You should be initiated into Sri Vidya for doing all that. Triveni Kalpam is a Sri Chakra Puja in a nutshell. Okay? It's a very, very concise. It contains everything that a Sri Vidya, that a Sri Chakra Puja would encompass. Okay? Yantra Pujas for Ganapati, Bala, Vara. Once again, that's all. Once you are initiated into Sri Vidya, you can think of that. Specialized Puja, Shiva, Pradosha Puja, Shodashanga Raudri Karanam. Yeah, that is, as I said, Shodashanga Raudri Karanam also is a Sloka Puja Padhati. There are 16 stanzas there. Each stanza you'll use for particular upacharam. That is, I think the same thing. Same thing. Dashamudra, yeah, that's all. Yes. Anything else? Sri Vidya philosophy. Sri Vidya philosophy, that again is a very broad concept. Sri Vidya philosophy on the technical side is more into tantric exploration of divinity. Okay. And on the tantric side, it explores the quote and unquote, the effect of sound. This Sri Vidya tradition, kind of a jump start. Yeah, it's a start and to transcend from Sakara Upasana to Nirakara Upasana. Okay? Say, for example, Sakara Upasana, Chanchalaya Namah Shrim Padho Pujayami, Chapalaya Namah Shrim Gulho Pujayami, Chanchala Chapala. So you are using a physical attribution, physical body. Am Sauhu, Aim Klim Sauhu, Krim Klim Sauhu, Haim Klim Sauhu. Very sweet. Where are nothing there? Right? Gajananam Bhuta Ganadi Sevitam Gajananam, elephant face, Bhuta Ganadi Sevitam Bhuta Ganadi, Kapitta, Jambu, Palasara Bhatchakam. They're all physical. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Vara. Very. So slowly you will move away from Sakara Upasana, that is Upasana using a physical form, to Nirakara Upasana, where you are not going to use a physical form. Okay? That is also, as Guruji says, at one point, ultimately, you will have to cut Devi to pieces and move forward. Because at that point, there is no separate you and Devi. There is only one. That one is nothing but nothing. And it is that nothing from which everything will evolve or emanate. Okay, so Sri Vidya philosophy, it jumpstarts you. It is like, I always say this, because initially when Ayya gave me the mantra, I had to undergo a surgery. And I came and asked Ayya, what is this? Is it time for me to pack my bags? And he said, do you think Sri Vidya is a bed of roses? What you are supposed to clear in the next 100 lifetimes, she wants to just scrub it all away now. Go, no problem, she will take care of it. Okay? That's why Sri Vidya Upasana, I typically try to use a very, very radical, unconventional analogy. It is a cookie cutter fitted with a rocket engine. How about that? Okay? When Guru gives you the mantra, that becomes the cookie cutter that sits on your consciousness, on your essence. And now the rocket engine switches on. Your essence is moving forward at a full speed. Now when you are going, the dough of the cookie that is outside the cutter, it is still sticking. Right? Your vasanas, your attachments, entanglements. Now, as you go forward at that rocket speed, this extraneous cookie dough that is attached to you, some of it will wither away. Some of it will break apart. Some of it, you will have to break it up yourself. Okay? It all depends on what dough you are made of. Okay? Depending on, so the essence, no matter what, how painful it is outside, the essence will keep moving forward. That is how Sri Vidya works. It's one of the reasons they kept it so secretive that long time back, when people did not have a whole lot of sense of what it could be. Okay, it's a very effective, this one, very intense, extremely powerful, and a great way of reaching divinity, so to say. Okay? But when you do the chanting, your upasana and all that, it should become a way of your life. You should become more compassionate. Take less of the world. Give more of yourself to the world. Okay? Forgo, forgive, and forget. Thus happy you shall be at the place. So the same thing applies here. Forgo. Give it. Give. So that you will become that infinite nothing at one point. Okay? And then Dashamaha Vidya. Okay, Dashamaha, these are, you explore. I'd rather give that to you as a homework. When you have time, you explore Dashamaha Vidyas in detail and have a different session to interact about it. And Dashamudras, basically, once again, Dashamudras come in when you are to some stage in Sri Vidya. At least you let you complete Bala, and once you get to Panchadashi, we can discuss something about Dashamudras. And that should be it. I don't have anything else to.
Yeah, how has been your experience? How did you start? What was your...
No, the question here is, I don't know, they can hear it, right? Yeah. The question here is, what is my experience or how I got into Sri Vidya? Okay. Interestingly, there are 2 to 3 things that I'm very fond of in life. One is 7 burrito in Taco Bell. Second one is that veggie burger in Burger King. Okay. And good Indian food. This is how I was. I'm not a very serious practitioner. I just walked to this temple on that day, that long time back. Just came and looked at me. Have you learned everything? No, I don't know. I don't know anything. What do I know? I don't know anything. Just came to the temple by accident. Just somebody said, hey, go there. But then after I came here, said that, and then came to me and said, I'll give you Sri Vidya. What is Sri Vidya? I don't know Sri Vidya. Let's think about it. Because my grand uncle at one point, at that time, 30 years back, said, Sri Vidya is, you are playing with fire. He was telling somebody, I heard that. And when he said, Sri Vidya, let me think about it. And just And after that, one thing led to the other. And then finally, okay, yeah, I take this. The moment I asked that temple anniversary function, okay, come. And she just gave me, not only gave me the mantra, she also gave me the Purna Diksha. That's why I said Purna Diksha, it depends. Sometimes, you just see, he said, yeah, okay, come. Okay, this mantra and Purna Diksha. Then after that, when he came and sat, Shankar, oh, you got so many mantras and Purna Diksha. I asked, what is Purna Diksha? I didn't know what it was. Just gave it. That started. The journey started from. I wouldn't really think that it is in any way significant because I'm just about as mundane today as I used to be at that time. It just came to me.
And I guess it's totally fine. Start.
Yeah, no, that questioning will always be there. That curiosity will be there. That's the journey. That's the journey. Any questions, Amma?
Yes, Aya. Are there any dietary and other restrictions as a precondition for initiation into our sampradaya, or is it flexible?
Dietary restrictions?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we would recommend that you be a vegetarian. And even in vegetarian foods, you consume the raj foods to a minimum. Something like your drumsticks, onions and garlic. It's not that they are taboos. It is just that they just come in the way of your upasana. They will desensitize you regarding certain things. That's all. Then?
Some of us come from different regions and different desa, kala, achara and cultural norms. In that case, is it advisable to seek initiation from a guru from a similar background?
Your caste, creed, gender, nationality should not have any bearing in your seeking initiation, provided you conform to the regimen and rigors prescribed by that lineage. That's all. If, say, Ayya has initiated so many Americans, so many Chinese, so many Malaysians, so many Africans into Sri Vidya. So it doesn't matter. Background doesn't matter. Only what matters is how much you conform to the practices or sampradayams of that lineage. That's it. Next.
Yeah. How do you ensure a good consciousness and ensure that the ego never gets involved in my desire to learn or practice Sri Vidya?
The moment I say I don't want to involve any ego, already ego has come in. Okay? I want moksha, then you are already away from moksha. What is moksham? Mohachayam is moksham. Moham, the passion or the desire for something. So if you desire moksham, still there is a desire. The same is the case evil. Okay? So it's a matter of practice. It's a matter of practice saying that, okay, first of all, if you are already married, okay, if the husband should eat whatever the wife cooks and also sometimes cook for wife, okay, something like that. So basically, you should start complaining less and less and less. Okay? You should accept the world the way it is to the as long as the general good is not impacted. Good is impacted, yes, you'll have to fight for the general good. There's no two thoughts about it. Otherwise, it comes to your own person. I know my answer is a very, very imprecise answer, whatever I gave. But it's a matter of practice. It's a matter of practice. And how you react to the situation, that you have to be always aware of what you are doing. As I always tell people, if you are sad, there's nothing wrong in you feeling sad, but always be aware that you are sad. That will help you. Be aware of the feeling you are enduring. That will help you in getting you away from that feeling itself. Away in the sense, it's keep you unattached to the feeling at one point. There's nothing wrong in feeling bad. There's nothing wrong in feeling hungry. There's nothing wrong in enjoying. Be aware that you are. Be aware that you are happy. Be aware that you are sad. That will pull you out, saying that, look, you are separate from that sadness. Most often than not, we go the other way, right? He's this thing. Because of that, it happened. Because of him, that it happened. Oh, I shouldn't have. The moment you say that, you have lost the fact that you are only experiencing, you are a sakshi to something that is happening. So that constant interaction with some action you think as interaction, you have to be aware. That's a sadhana. When you keep doing it, at one point, slowly you will get, as the first contact, Jodie Foster, she hears that sound from that SETI. They will have that Society for what is that? Extraterrestrial intelligence. Okay, they will be tracking, and suddenly their radars catch a signal, and then she identifies a planet. Good, one down, million to go. Okay, so same way, yes, one down, a million to go. It's a lifelong practice, lifelong sadhana. As Ayya said, it's a lifelong syllabus. Keep doing it, you will get there step by step by step. Next.
I had a question about how do you do the Ganapati Tarpana?
There is Ganapati Tarpanam book available, Amma. You may want to ask, check with propose the question on Google Classroom. I think you should be getting an answer. There should be, the material should be available, if I'm right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, also we will be having a session on Ganapati Tarpanam, which will be one of the classes where we'll be showing how it should be done. And the book is also available in the bookstore. So we'll connect with you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Next question, Aya. I think this was discussed in the slides, like in the beginning, but there's a question posted. When you do daily upasana, is it to be done at a particular time every day?
Yeah, that's the thing is, same day, same time, same duration, same direction, same mantra, same process of upasana. Maintain this, it will help a lot. And again, keep things to the minimum. Make it as simple as possible so that you will have very few excuses to skip it.
Yeah. So next question. When I was initiated into Sri Vidya, but they didn't teach me how to draw the Sri Yantra or any other yantras. Is it okay to learn from Guruji's lessons on YouTube?
Perfectly fine. Please.
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah. Thank you.
Vaishali ji has a question. If you would like to unmute and ask, you can do that.
Thank you. Namaskaram, Ayya. I have this question with regards to Dhyanam. So they say that, we have to be honest to our Dharma. And Dharma can mean whatever we are doing, we have to be 100% present in that, whether it's as a mother talking to the kids, or if you're attending a puja or homa, be 100% present mentally there. But if we are in the act of doing this silent chanting in the mind, and you're sitting there talking, the child is talking, but there's a chanting going on in the mind, or if you're attending a puja and there's a internal chanting that's happening, are we 100% honest to our Dharma there? So that is a kind of question that runs in my mind.
Now, you want to take chanting as your Dharma or attending to your child as a Dharma? If you are attending, in my opinion, attending to your child is going to be your Dharma, not chanting. So in which case, even if the chanting is a little disturbed, there is nothing wrong.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a few more questions in the chat. Yeah. Should Lalita Sahasranamam be chanted as a stotram or as Archana with each name preceded by Om and followed by Namaha?
It is a process, Amma. You can adapt whichever process you want. There's nothing, either way is fine, but only thing is one consumes more time than the other. Okay, whichever works out for your way of life, you can follow that.
Okay, next question. Is it okay to receive initiation up to Varahi stage, but not have the Guru Paduka mantra?
Your guru should answer that question, not me. There are certain gurus that say it is okay, but some, in our lineage, typically it is not okay. But better you talk to your guru about it.
Okay, next question, Aya. If only one spouse in the marriage practices Sri Vidya, then will a spiritual gap or distance grow between the couple? Could it be said that it is best for both to practice, or is it taking initiation a personal or individual decision?
Oh, sorry, thing is, on the light-hearted side, when you say only one spouse, how many spouses that person has, kind of. Anyway, so basically husband and one of them practices, another one does not. So you say how it should be. Well, it is better if both of them do it, no doubt about it. It becomes more harmonious within the house or wherever.
Does it matter?
Pardon?
I do it, my wife. We both.
No, as I said, it does not. It will be better to have kind of this thing. If it is not there, it is not there. Because I have seen in our own temple, there are some cases in the couple, one is given Purnadiksha, other one is not. It's there. So the coin has two sides. So it's okay. But definitely it is better if both practice. That's all. In next month?
That's it in the chat. If anyone has
Okay.
any question, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
Aya Namaskaram. Thank you for
Namaskaram.
doing this session. It was very informational. What is the next step in advancing this knowledge from what you have introduced us? And secondly, my question is, as you have mentioned, approach a guru for initiation. Who starts that conversation? Is the seeker or the guru sees something in the seeker and then approaches? Thank you.
It depends, Amma. There are situations where Ayya initiated somebody, then auto rickshaw driver, right when he was driving the auto rickshaw. Okay? There was a situation where Guruji initiated a security guard in Frankfurt airport. The security guard each time he walks that side, peeps at Guruji and goes away. At one point, he'll come to him and say, "Are you a Swami?" Then Guruji said, "Yes, I am a Swami." Then he said, "I always wanted to have a mantra, but I cannot afford to come all the way to India. Can you give me a mantra?" Guruji hugged him and initiated him into Panchadashi. Okay, so it depends. I mean, say as I say in my own case, as it happened, Ayya said, "I'm going to give you Sri Vidya, take it." Okay, it depends. But for you, if you are keen about it, come to Rochester. I don't know where you are, which part of the world you live, but Rochester here, Devipuram in India, they are great places to get initiated.
Yeah, I was blessed. I was there couple of times. When I was in New Jersey, and now I'm in Midwest. But I have visited Amma a couple of times and actually received the kumkuma from the Archana with your hands. So I'm blessed for it. Thank you.
Oh, welcome. Anything else? What is the time now? 6:40?
If anyone has any question, please feel free to ask now. Okay, I have a question in the chat. Is there anything one should know if they listen to the Rudram daily?
One should know? No.
Probably follow.
Yeah, you can listen to Rudram, no problem.
Okay.
Ayya, can I ask a very, very silly question?
No
I
question
keep-
too silly, please.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about initiation by a guru, but I do not understand, do not know what the meaning of word of initiation by the guru is. What does that mean? What does it infer? I'm sorry about this.
No, the question is not silly at all. That in fact is a very complex question. See, the meaning of initiation for your external self as a body, initiation may not really mean much, or initiation may not be felt much unless you are already so sensitized to it. But when the initiation happens, the energy that is going to sit inside of you, okay, that energy slowly, in a very, very slow fashion, it starts morphing you, transforming you. Provided, not just provided, yes. And if you continue with the sadhana after initiation, that transformation becomes all the more rapid. But that initiation has to happen from a guru who is already has gotten there. When he initiates that, that's what happens. That energy comes and sits into you. The word for that is the mantra viryam. Okay?
Right.
That mantric seed will come and sit inside your consciousness. As I said, that cookie, it sits on your consciousness, and the essence is held in there, and the ship starts going forward. And you will not realize it physically in the initial phases. You will not at all. Only at one point of time, say for example, some people, when they go to a particular level, okay, they will slowly start losing their active interest in good food. Slowly, he'll start losing interest. Good food. And some people do not mind getting hurt by others. Okay, he has that. Okay, let me endure it. Slowly, it doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't mean that the person does not react. As I said, he'll be aware of all his irritabilities. If he is sad, he's aware that he is sad. If he is hungry, he's aware that he is hungry. But as I said, okay, I'm hungry. So these things, slowly it will get into you. And at that point, you will realize, hey, I did not used to be like this at one point. You'll realize that. That's how it works.
So initiation can happen without guru giving the mantra, guru mantra, and then it can be the next step, if I understand you right.
No, initiation is typically when the guru intervenes. If the guru, without intervention, means probably the guru was not there physically, but in one capacity or other, in one form or other, in one platform or other, as in the sthula, sukshma, karana, whichever plane, the guru will have come and initiated. You say, for example, one of the devotees, whose name I may not want to discuss here, but he is a very senior upasaka. For him, mother came in his dream and initiated him into Mahashwarshi. But there will be a guru getting to intervening in one form or other, one place or other, one time or other for this to happen. Yes, Sumit? Pardon? Guru can, without a person knowing, as I say, it depends. It depends. Yes, there are situations where it has happened. If the person doesn't even know. Yes, Sumit,
so
anything else?
Thank you so much, Ayya.
Most welcome.
Namaskar, Ayya.
Namaskar.
I got initiated from my guru, and he's in India. Am I still allowed to learn the Sri Vidya?
What do you mean? You are honestly initiated into Sri Vidya, or you are initiated something else?
He just initiated me. My guru just initiated me. He is a Sri Vidya Upasak.
Okay, but what did he initiate you into? What is it, Bala or is it Panchadashi or is it Ganapati? What did he initiate you into?
A mantra.
No, is it Sri Vidya mantra or some other mantra? Or
Some other mantra.
Yeah, if it is some other mantra, you are not actually initiated into Sri Vidya.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm allowed to learn.
So you have to get initiated to Sri Vidya to follow this path. See, for example, Kadambari Baba, who is supposed to be our Jagat Guru, the beginning for our lineage, initiated our lineage into Sri Vidya. He initiated Lahari Mahasaya, Sri Yukteswar Giri. He initiated them into Kriya Yoga. The Kriya Yogis are not Sri Vidya Upasakas. Sri Vidya Upasakas are not Kriya Yogis. Okay?
Okay. And
so you have to be initiated in this line, this thing.
So this class is today and it's going to happen like again, or we have to do, what is the next step we have to do? Is it every Sunday, every Saturday, or every week?
No, this class is a kind of one-time class. It may be repeated after a few years if need be, but the class recording will be available online. You can go there, take a look at that class content.
What is the next step if you wanted to learn and start the Sri Vidya?
Yeah, I would say, as I said, you will have to reach a guru. Two places I suggest would be, one is Rochester, second is Devipuram. There are other places too, but yeah, you have to reach one.
And after that, once we come there, if we accept it, we can do the online, or do we have to come to the Rochester every time?
You have to come to Rochester for initiation.
Initiation.
Start there first. Then you will know what to do next.
Do I have to make an appointment?
That's a tough question. It is not about appointment, Amma. You have to come to Rochester, see our Guru, see Ayya, and then he will decide when and if and how you have to get initiated.
Yeah. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
So there's a question. Until that time, what does someone who wants to get into Sri Vidya need to do? How do they prepare themselves?
Lalita Sahasranamam. Keep chanting Lalita Sahasranamam all the time, or at least once a day, or once a week, or some regular interval. Keep chanting it.
Yeah, there is one question. Would initiation effect be any different if money is charged to give it?
If?
Money is charged to give it.
Yeah, is there a fee? We do not believe, in fact, we desist from chanting, from selling initiation. We don't sell initiation. We do not want to comment about that. We only talk about what we do. That's all. Anything else?
I think that's it, Ayya.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of this program. May Mother's grace and Guru's compassion be with you. May the non-initiates in this group be initiated as soon as possible and get onto the super highway of Sri Vidya. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Jnanam Brahma Matma Brahma Samasi Ham Brahmasmi Om Hamsa Shivasoham Hamsa Hasaka Frema Tatchamalavaryum Saum Satchamalavarim Saho Swarupa Nirupana Hetave Sugurave Srimad Jnanam Vikasameta Sri Chaitanyandanasa Sri Guru Sri Padkam Pujayami Tatpayami Namaha. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayya. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ayya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ayya.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for attending. If you have any more questions, please feel free to post it to our Google Classroom. We will get it answered. Thank you. I'll stop the recording.